Good evening, everybody. Welcome to David's Kitchen. I'm here with my beautiful Medusa plant that we have here. Someone said my hair looks like the Medusa. Well, this is a Medusa capsicum plant. It's a pepper plant that grows seasonally at pretty hardy temperatures. We've got that in my kitchen. So today we're going to be doing an amazing dish involving beef. We've got some beef right here. I've also got beef I've already pre-tenderized. I'll show you how I did that. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to tenderize this meat. Okay, this is a interesting situation. We've got I took a top round steak that I got for $4.74. I froze it. It was $4.74, and then I got it $2 off because it was past due. And I froze it about 2 months ago. And I took salsa from an old salsa bottle and some papaya, which is a meat tenderizer, which I've had. Papaya works great, and I put the papaya underneath and put the salsa on top, and I let it sit there for about 5 hours. I've also got slices where I made slices in the meat. As you can see, I've got all the meat pulled apart. See that? Isn't that nice? And I let it sit, you know. And this is a piece of meat I just pulled out of the freezer, which is the same kind of price configuration. I just defrosted. I'm going to show you how I'm going to tenderize this with some basic hot sauce and meat tenderizer and some Italian seasoning and a mallet, a meat tenderizing mallet. Now you can get metal ones and wood ones, whatever. Hello, good evening. No, they don't have a fireplace over there. Hey, don't post the address for anybody who is ever coming into the show. That's inappropriate. I'm going to shut guest chat off here. Yeah, you guys are really pushing the envelope, messing around with Jessica. Hi, Jessica. Well, you could have a bigger mallet. Sarah took one of my big metal mallets from the 1930s. I don't know what happened to it. Do you happen to know? Is it on the shelf back there?
I think it's in that third drawer down.
Oh, the big metal one. You know, this one. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It is. Sarah was right. That is one heck of a meat tenderizer. This is an heirloom from, yeah, thank you. This is a metal meat tenderizer from the 1930s that I had in my family. Yeah. Isn't that cool? You can try that too. All right, you ready to get started? I'm excited. I've got the onion, the proverbial onion that we start with every day. We're always into doing the onion thing. It's extremely important to have an onion every time you cook. So we're going to go ahead and get the breadboard in position. Prepping the breadboard. There we go. Cut that onion up. I kind of grab the base of the onion and I kind of make a little sliver so it kind of starts it off, making it infinitely easier to pull that skin off that onion. See, when you take the bottom off, that's where all the hot burning stuff comes out. So it pretty much neutralizes a lot of the stuff that makes you cry, you know? Okay, so getting that onion peeled is priority number one right now. We'll prep the meat, and that meat out of the freezer is going to take some time because, you know, you've got to give it a lot of physical action to compensate for not sitting around for 5 hours. The other meat that I have is sitting around for 5 hours, has the ability to Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut these onions up very quickly. Here we go. Okay. And then I'll get to my ingredient list. I'm going to start the burner in the back here for level 6 in the back. They get it nice and hot.
You want some vegetables?
Some vegetables. Oh wow, Sarah's bringing me good vegetables. Check this out. Yeah, I can throw all those in. That's perfect. Thank you. That kind of takes over the pepper I was going to put in. Thank you. Yeah, so the recipe calls for a pepper, which normally costs about 50 cents. So far, we're up to $3. Great. Thank you, Sarah. I'm going to put these vegetables out on the plate here. Just chop them up. Look at that. That's perfect. There we go. That can go in the burner too. Perfect. A little carrots is fine. I'm putting a little carrots, a little celery in there, a little peppers, whatever. Very basic stuff. Getting that pan nice and hot. I'm going to go ahead and pump it up with some olive oil. David, they're playing your sister's episode of Password? No kidding. Are you making that up? Seriously. My sister was on a couple game shows. Are you talking about the 1960s? Yeah. Thank you. We've got a correction typo. Hold on. I'm not a monkey. Thank you. We'll go with R-O-T-I-N-A. Okay. Hold on, please. I-N-I-N-I. Sharks love olive oil. Yes, thank you. Okay, let me get the rotini out. Okay, yes, rotini. Ready in 11 minutes. Fantastico. Okay. From Naples, Italy. Yeah, from the home country, the Naples. Yeah, the Gragnano, Naples, make a home handmade from organic wheat, Durham. This is wonderful. This is about $1 at the dollar store. Okay. Thank you. Have I corrected it yet? You're good? Are you fine? Have you calmed down a little bit? May I go back to pumping? Thank you. Yeah, my sister was in some sort of a dating game show, I think. I think you may have the wrong person. That's not my sister. If there's an episode of my sister, she'd be there. But she was on the dating game 2 times. She was never on Password. Okay, heating up the back burner. Let's get those onions and things in the back burner with a little oil in the bottom. Just throw them on in there. You don't have to have a steam fry going. It's okay. Everything is beautiful. All right. Throw a little Italian seasoning on the top of that, too. Just a couple sprinkles. All righty. And cover it up. That's got to get hot, real fast. Okay, rinsing hands. And every single episode I do waste a piece of paper towel. How about that? Always keep a clean piece of paper towel. That was a great Italian accent. I want to thank you for your compliment. Appreciate it, Carpet Muncher. Yeah, I worked on, watching Sopranos many episodes, and I do more of a a mob kind of Italian accent. It's not the old country kind of, because the mob doesn't really, they didn't even go to the old country. When they went to the old country in Sopranos, they didn't appreciate the Italian Americans who didn't speak like they did. So I'm really modeling after Tony Soprano, okay? Or maybe a little Scarface. It's a little Colombian in there. All right. Hey, we got to get some water going. I'm going to fill this up in my filtered water spigot. Close my curtains so nobody can see me here. Yeah. All right. Getting about halfway full. There we go. And we'll put that on level 6 too. All righty. Put a little Visions cover on it. All right. All right, we're going on a very, very hot grill here. So, we're going to start pounding the meat. I know that's one of your favorite parts here, so. Repositioning camera. Take a plastic bag, any plastic bag will do, and put some shakes of Italian seasoning in there on both sides of the meat. There you go. And take any kind of a mild hot sauce. Generic hot sauce. I just use whatever. And put about a tablespoon of hot sauce in there on both sides. Total of a tablespoon, like a teaspoon on each side. And then take meat tenderizer if you happen to have it on the shelf. If you don't, try onion powder or garlic powder. Do not use salted ingredients, except for the hot sauce. Don't use like garlic salt. That's a little too much salt. And salt will toughen up a meat. So you have to make sure that you don't toughen up the meat. Okay? Is that better? Okay, lift that cover and move those veggies around a little bit. Okay, now start pounding the meat. Pound the meat. And if that's not enough, pound it some more. Flip it over. Pound it through the plastic bag. Switch positions. Now this is top round. Good. Some pretty heavy blunt instruments there. I personally like the little one myself. Bad meat. Okay. This is great. Okay, pull the meat out of the package and put it on the plate. Take the remaining sauce inside, put some water in it. Take that water and put that water in on top of your vegetables. There you go. Perfectly fine. You can use the water. Okay. Take a knife, a fairly sharp knife, and a fork, and hold your meat down. There you go. And then slice it nice and thin. Like that, see? No more than about 1/4 of an inch thick. Be careful not to hurt yourself or be in any way dangerous to, hold a knife like this, you're holding the fork, don't put your fingers near the meat. Avoid contact with the meat by using the fork. All right. Very nice. Getting close to the grizzle. Pull the grizzle off. Throw the grizzle in the compost heap. All right, we're going to take all that meat right there. Oh, sorry. We had a camera failure. Hang on. Oh, good. It's good. Thank you. That was a close call. Dispose of the knife. All right, here we go. It's not a disposable knife. We're going to try the two different types of meat. Your recipe will only call for about this much meat. Okay, but I'm going to put double that because I got a lot of meat here. All right, so it's going in on top of the vegetable. I'm going to scoot it right in on top of the pan. Okay. Now, normally, if this was asada, I'd be searing that meat on a high flame. But my goal is actually just to steam cook this, steam fry this, with very little water in here. And I'm sealing all the juices from the actual vegetables. Good evening and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming in. No, it's not boiled meat, it's steam fried. And this is what I've been bringing to the table to a lot of chefs from around the world. They don't understand the concept of steam fry, and I'm happy to bring it to you. I happened upon this as a survival technique during a winter excursion to the deep woods, in which I somehow survived with one pan. And I found that the most tasty food that you can possibly eat is made in a fusion way. And I realized that by fusing the ingredients together in a tight, hot pan with just a little bit of water and good amount of oil, like about a teaspoon of oil, and in this case, the meat has oil, natural oil, I'm actually infusing the gastrique of the vegetables into the meat itself, and then thereby creating the environment to top off with some tomatoes. Now remember, my recipe was only up to $3. I'm going to show you something. I just picked up diced Hunt's organic tomatoes for 50 cents for a can, non-GMO, at the dollar store. I'm serious. Tomato sauce. Look at this. At Walmart, non-salted, mind you, no salt, for 33 cents. So right now I am pushing I'm pushing the envelope of $4, okay? This particular dish right here, or this particular thing right here, you can get for $1 at the dollar store. You can find non-GMO pasta of any kind for $1. So far I'm at $5 for this entire meal. Now this fusion cooking phase right now is just setting the flavors of the vegetables into the meat. And it's infusing it and browning the base of the meat. I'm going to flip that over and I'm going to let it sear. Okay, I am going to sear the meat, but it's going to be at the highest point of the heat. And then I cover it again in order to retain the amount of flavor. And also conserving heat in the event you're running out of heat. Say it's wintertime and you don't have any way of saving your heat. It's leaving your pot and your... Yeah. No, the meat's good. No, the meat's good. I destroyed the meat when I malleted it. Yeah. All right, let's flip it over. You ready? But I want to have these cans prepared. When I flip them over, I'm going to put all this tomato stuff on top of the meat. That's amazing. For that price, organic Hunt's diced tomatoes, that's phenomenal. And I like the no salt tomato sauce because it really saves on the salt factor. Some people are, you know, kind of hesitant to have too much salt in their meal. All right, here we go. We'll lift the cover on the meat. A little closer view. All right. Boom. See that? Seared right in there. I'm going to turn it around and flip it right over and keep it open and just start pressing in on the meat itself. Now, since the meat's all cut in one direction, now is the time you can start pressing down on it the other way, just to get it closer into the pan. Press it as far into the pan as you can, right down to the bottom. And the full force of that heat is coming in on that meat right now. Okay, base it, cover it. Perfect. Now we're going to cover it with the tomatoes. And top it off with the sauce. Okay? And at this point, you want to add a little bit of water to the containers to get all the sauce out of the containers. You don't want to waste any of that sauce. Good. There you go. I'm going to give it a couple more shakes of Italian seasoning on top. I'm going to give it one more shot of hot sauce, a full tablespoon. I'm going to cover it up, and I'm going to take it down to level 3. Okay? Meanwhile, this is on level 6 over here, and I'm getting the hot water going. I'm going to start prepping the zucchini. Yeah, now, I did make a mistake because the zucchini I have to factor in at least $1. So I'm going to take the recipe up to $6. Yeah, I'm so sorry to have to do this to you, but you know, I forgot that the recipe. Yeah. So another $1 for zucchini. What do you mean? Are you talking to Sarah here? What are you saying? Thank you. I'm Chef Stephen Piles. Okay. What about Chef Hemorrhoids? Yeah. No, you buy organic, or you met? Oh yeah. You know, the thing is, there's a lot of colon cancer among people in South America. It's a higher than average rate, and I must tell you, the problem is excessive use of peppers, and oftentimes it's unrestricted use. I mean, it's like they're just too many peppers. Yeah. I would recommend lightening up on the peppers and the hot sauce. The money so far I haven't really sacrificed taste here. $6 for 8 people is pretty good. Well, I'm just saying that peppers can cause an environmental stress on your colon. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying peppers or toxicity causes anything. Whoa, wait a second, I got a call. No call after all. I'm just saying that the excessive environmental stress on your organs is what really triggers problems like cancer. You have salmon pate on a baguette? Oh, that sounds really good. Yeah. Yeah, it's the acid and the free radicals that we're talking about. Thank you. You're very good, super duper genius. Okay, so we're going to get our zucchinis going here. I picked up 50 cents each. Amazing. 50 cents each. Not bad. But no, they're not organic. But they're pretty good. 50 cents each at our local grocery store. So that was a good move. Yeah, just right. Got them just in time. I rinsed them off. So do rinse them off and rub them with your hands. So when you're washing vegetables, no matter what they are, whether they're organic or not, you know, kind of rub them back and forth and scrub them off a little bit. This one has a little bit of like a blemish right here. I'm going to cut it right off. All right, so let's chop these up, get them ready. I'm going to put them in the hot water because I'm going to cook my pasta around my zucchini. It's a good way to save energy, too. Now, if I cook my zucchini with my meat, which is still cooking at a nice rate, it would be a little bit too much. So I'm going to sever these in half long ways and then lay them out flat like this. Let me get rid of these cans. And then just go real basic half-inch cuts. When you get to the bigger part, get a little thinner. That stretches it out to more meals for various people. The wider it is, the thinner it wants to be. Okay, there you go. Okay, we're all set with our hot water back here. I'm going to throw those in the hot water. Beautiful. Now they're going to take a little longer than the pasta because it's kind of they're cooling off the water. I've got to get the water back up to a pasta level. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, salt the water too. We're going to take some sea salt and put it in the water. Oops. Almost out of my sea salt. I have to replenish that. Anyway, that's pretty good. The zucchinis, yeah. And, you know, they're a nice vegetable. They add color to your meal. Now, you're going to be looking at like a carnitas kind of thing. But it's not carnitas because that's pork. Carnitas. Any meat is carne in Spanish. But this is, I was thinking of an asada, but I thought, no, it just takes too much time. And, you know, I really don't want to pan sear the meat. But you know something? You can do that. For me, just having beef is enough because I really like the flavor of beef. But when you pan sear beef and get that like New York steak feeling, it has more salt in it for sure. And you can definitely get the taste factor up, carbonizing the sealing in the juices of the beef. So I'm going to turn that, I'm going to lift the cover on this and just start moving the meat around. Just pressing down on it. The idea is to keep the marination going physically. You're always moving the meat. So whatever acids are in the dish are kind of massaged gently in at level 3. So I'm slowly cooking the meat in the juices of all the vegetables, tomatoes, etc. Wow, that's no fun, salty dog. Yeah. Sometimes you wake up feeling dead. You are non-GMO, but use old cans, GMOs from the 80s and all cans pre that. I don't know what you're saying. I mean, I'm not all non-GMO. I'm pretty accepting of things if they're not 100% non-GMO. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I've never been particular about the food I eat. I used to represent organic food, and I realized that, you know, with the radiation flying over our heads from Fukushima and God knows what else floating in the atmosphere, I'm okay with a little GMO. Oh, yeah. It's 30 years, a steady diet of genetically modified food is what causes cancer. So if you have to make a few exceptions and have a regular pizza, of course, you know, I'm not preaching extremism. I'm preaching moderate, you know, everything in moderation kind of thing. And that's how I'm able to save money too. So, all right, so we're almost ready to add the rotini. I'm just going to get that water up to a boil over here. Back in this one. We're almost ready to add the rest of this entire package. It's about a pound. I use some of it for another meal, but it'll be fine. Yeah, and I'll get my pan to put everything in. There we go. I think you know the drill by now. I make these big meals and I put them in this container and I just stick it in the refrigerator. It works out great. It's a fantastic way to save energy, putting things in various containers. Now you can pack this entire meal in separate meals containers. Sarah sometimes does that. She'll put the food in a container for the freezer, and then she'll have an individual lunch. So 8 separate lunches here could be made. Hello, no GMO. Hell no. So I'm not freaking out about genetically modified food. I'm recognizing that there's some areas that we can't control. But like when you get ice cream, most of it has genetically modified corn syrup. So find one that doesn't, that just has sugar in it. That's one way to save on genetically modified corn syrup. Well, Sarah's in a conversation with her mentor at the university she's getting her master's degree at. So, hey, welcome UHF. Hey, Andrew. Yeah, UHF watching, 29 million people watching in Mexico. Hello. Buenas noches. I'm trying to use the word carne because it has meat in it. It could be pork. You could use pork or anything. Okay, we got a full boil going back there. I'm going to lift the cover. Fantastic. Put those right on top of the zucchini. And I'm going to put a little Italian seasoning in the boiling water too. Now, typically Italian seasoning is the lowest cost thing you can buy. And I urge you to get some because it has really good things in it, like oregano and basil. They're dried, but they really have good quality ingredients that can improve your health and build your immune system. Yeah. So here I'm going to just kind of push this around with a wooden spatula so it doesn't stick. Always move your pasta before it gets in the pan so it doesn't stick. The zucchini is about half done, so 11 minutes with this rotini in there will be very good. We'll be able to get that thing fully functional. All right. Yeah, we picked up a bunch of this organic pasta at Costco. It turned out to be $1 a package by the time I got it. America is shopping at Costco. It's one of the most popular stores in the country now. You can't handle it anymore. It's just too amazing here. Monkey Times is overdosing on amazement, so he's going to have to leave. It's not slop night. This meat is actually tasty. I honestly can't see cooking top round any other way. You've got to marinate it. It's not edible otherwise. If you make top sirloin, now you're talking. You don't have to worry about pounding it. If you're making actual fajitas and you're using a specific type of meat designed for fajitas, then it's usually tender. You know, if it's like packaged in a package, it says made for fajitas, it's usually the right kind of food to eat. Hello? So the big revelation today about Al Franken groping a woman. I believe it was a woman. Oh, we got to blow over. Okay. That's a roaring boil. I'm going to give it another mix. Wow. That's a roaring boil, all right. Yeah, the zucchini flavors go in the pasta when it cooks. Isn't that great? Yeah, I'm going to turn both of these down to level low at this point. Both of the burners can go to low and just sit and mature on their own. No, my true passion is politics. I only do this because I wanted to give you guys something back, you know, something you could follow up with and maybe learn to cook and enjoy it. I'm not here to profit, so I'm just giving you information that might help you, you know, make your life a little easier and save money for your family. Get ahead of your bills, no longer have to live with a man calling you up going, "We're late on a payment, sir, and we're going to repossess your car." Yeah, if you don't have those stressors in life, you live longer. Yeah, it's a big, important part is to not have stressors, hassles. We believe North Korea will continue advancing in the world economy. That's my position. I believe Iran will advance the world economy too, and I think we can move toward mainstreaming every single nation into a nuclear non-proliferation scenario. But it's going to be slow for a lot of those nations to begin to recognize the need for less nuclear weapons and more defensive weapons. It's a gradual conversion from offensive to defensive. And gradually trust is built over time. We've got a long history of aggression and anger and miscommunication between a lot of those countries. It's going to take a while to recover from this. Trump and Obama didn't do anything to communicate with Kim Jong-un. Nothing. Which is shocking to me, considering that's the only avenue in which we can actually pursue some level of détente. All right, so everything's pretty much in slow-mo now. I can just cover everything up, let it set, talk to you, and I'm going to fuse the ingredients together. I'm going to show you a Parmesan container that I bought this weekend. I'll show it to you. Super Parmesan, 24 ouncer, $5.99 at Costco. So we're going to use some of this on the meal. Yes, I know there's some wood fibers in there I can't control. Cellulose, they added it to the Parmesan. I'm sure you're running off thinking about all the wood fibers I'll be eating. Yeah, but you know, it is available. I can't tell you what kind of Parmesan cheese to get. I would prefer the stuff I have in the refrigerator myself. Yeah. So instead of opening this one up, I'm just going to use this. This is a DiGiorno sliced Parmesan. Made like a mama like it. Very, very sliced and easy, good. Like Parmigiano, DiGiorno. You see, so this stuff is really good. I'm going to use this because, you know, I'm stepping up a little bit. But this is available for families, you know. Plus, I got this for like $1 at the grocery outlet. It was on sale. Normally, this is like $4. All right. Always buy things on sale when you can. When you see things on sale, don't say, "Oh, we have one at home. I don't really need it, honey." No, get 3 of them or 4 of them. Really. Yeah, I would show you my fridge, but I'd have to stretch the camera over there. We'll do that on our GoPro days when we're going to advance to GoPro eventually. Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'll have a camera around me, a selfie camera walking around me wherever I go. Hi, oh yeah, I'm walking around. That steak is still cooking slowly, but now it's in a complete simmer mode. Well, I don't have a fridge cam. I'm so sorry. Yeah. You know, I prefer spaghetti and meatball too. But when you got strips of meat in the freezer that you don't know what you're doing with them, you got to do something with them. Okay? That's all I'm trying to do. Okay, we're almost ready to check that rotini. Make sure I have everything going here. Excellent. So we'll be talking a little bit about Al Franken's groping session today. We'll find out if it's a man or a woman, because apparently he groped a news reporter, and it didn't say whether it was a man or a woman. Does anybody know? See, carne means meat. Yeah, you're right. Okay, meat, zucchini, rotini. Yeah, get with the program. We'll try to filter through the information and find out exactly whether he groped a man or a woman. Okay, because we need to find that out. It's important. It was a woman. He was on a USO tour. Well, that's kind of nice. At least we know he's not that gay. of course, it's okay to be gay, Al. If you're gay, go ahead and admit it. But if you're not, now we know you're a groper. So that's an interesting little mark on a guy. Now, he's no different than George H.W. Bush, who thought it was okay to grope everybody around him. And Kevin Spacey has like 20 more guy accusations. Are you serious? Wow. No, I'm not getting a mustache started. I'm thinking of actually just, smiling more often. That way I don't have to worry about a mustache. Okay, we're almost done here. I think that rotini is just setting up right now in its final stages. I'm just going to let everything kind of mature. I'm turning all the burners off. I'm getting ready to bring this dinner together. Yes. I'm glad we have this time together. We can talk, prior to the show. Because the show starts in about 15 minutes. I like to clean up during my cooking. Having this glass top stove is really nice. Telling you, but you don't want to get the burner near your hand. That could be, not so fabulous. Always good to get things done when you're in the kitchen. But if you have an old plastic bag that, it's like the second use plastic bag, these are perfect for using it for meat tenderizing. They work great. When you're done, you just throw them in the garbage. You don't want to, cross-contaminate. Don't reuse your meat package. That would be a terrible, dangerous spread of disease. We wouldn't want that. Okay, you don't mind if I do my tie while Oh, here's the groping picture. Let's take a look. Here he is. Wait a second. He's groping a woman? So you actually have a picture of him groping a woman? What the heck? Was the woman, drugged or something? Or an LA radio show host has come forward with allegations that the Minnesota Democrat sexually assaulted her during a 2006 USO tour in the Middle East. Well, I'll tell you, the picture proves it all, right? I mean, that says mountains right there. I mean, wow. That's a pretty heavy picture. And he does look like he's touching her breasts. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, he's air groping her. What? No, she was asleep. So let me get this straight. He was trying to touch the breasts of a sleeping soldier or reporter? I don't make moonshine. I don't drink alcohol. I don't care if it's a Kevlar vest protecting her delicate breasts. What audio said is correct. She's asleep. He took the photo as a gag. He thought it was funny to grab a woman's breasts while she's asleep. I'm sorry. I don't get the humor here. No, I never did get molested in Hollywood. Nope. Thank goodness. I feel bad for Corey Feldman. I think he's really been through a lot. Poor guy. Well, I'll tell you, that definitely says it all right there. I mean, he's groping a woman sleeping. That's just even weirder than groping her when I think groping is weird, nevertheless, but I don't ever grope women. How dare you, sir? What kind of a, wow. Now, just because you're a pervert doesn't make me one. Okay, it's all al dente. Let's move. Let's get this out of here. Any longer than 11 minutes, we're going to have a problem. Repositioning camera for straining operation. Initiate water in the sink. Prepare for straining. Wow, perfect. Right back in there. All right. And if you want to keep that water in your sink, it'll heat up your house if you're really, really saving money. Yeah, I don't, I'm not worried really, because it's not that cold. But if it was like 30 degrees, I'd leave the water in the sink. I wouldn't even. How old was she when he groped her? All right. Okay, let's put this right on top of here. Ta-da! That was really hard to do, wasn't it? And then right there on top of there. And you see this dinner I have over here that was cooking? Look at that beautiful meat that's just sitting there. Sauteing. Oh, it's so tender, too. All right, I'm just going to pour that right on top. Whoop, wait a second. Hold that thought. Let's put some cheese down first. Yeah, I'm going to put a layer of Parmesan cheese right on top of all that wonderful pasta. There you go. Nice Parmesan on top of that. I'm going to put this on top of the Parmesan. The meat sits on top. All the sauces go down below naturally. I'm going to top this entire dish off with a little bit more, poking it a little bit, pushing it in slightly. I'm going to top it off with a little bit more Parmesan. There you go. And we are almost ready to go. And as soon as that melts, you're ready to serve. So I'm going to cover this up with my trusty platter, which I cover my dishes with. And it is ready to go. So that is the complete meal, serving 8. And you serve it separately, dig into it and serve it with a layer of each. And it'll be fantastic. Everyone will love it. All right. Thank you for watching the recorded broadcast, which will be uploaded tonight at 2:30 in the morning. All right. Take care.